In Bungie's most recent developer livestream, they went over a lot of the changes that we're going to see in the sandbox in terms of Armor 3.0, a few of the new weapon archetypes, and some of the things we can expect when we earn new loot in the Edge of Fate. And a new week means a new TWID. This week in Destiny, June 26, 2025. This week in Destiny, we open more doors, some could call them portals, into the Edge of Fate's Kepler destination. Armor 3.0 and our brand new gear tiering system. There's been so much to share lately, and today is no different. We'll be catching up more about our goals for the new systems and sharing more details about our updated season pass, the rewards pass. Here's the breakdown. Save the date, again, live stream recap, Armor 3.0, abilities balance tuning, season pass updates, and the Bungie day is coming very soon. So let's dig in. Tune in to our next developer livestream. This week was all about Armor 3.0, gear tiers, and sandbox. Next week, let's chat a bit more about the Kepler and what's coming in the Edge of Fate. Join us on Tuesday, July 1st at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for our second Edge of Fate developer livestream. We're planning to give you a glimpse of the campaign, crank up the difficulty with the new world tier system, and let you see how this and all the other new sandbox changes come together. We'll also have the dev team on the floor ready to share many details about power progression, the portal, guardian ranks, quality of life changes, and so much more. Everyone watching our developer live stream on the Bungie Twitch channel for at least 15 minutes and with their Bungie account linked will earn the Observer Effect emblem as a Twitch drop. And let me just say, this emblem is so nice. I like this one a lot. I like the little scratches and the yellow and maroon vibes. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. Aeonians and Exiles and the 9. Oh my. If you couldn't attend our first live stream for the Edge of Fate, we've got your back. First up, here's our developer insight discussing Kepler, a new destination that's home to the Aeonians and the Exiles, the circumstances that have shaped their existence and the conflict they find themselves in. Also, new destination abilities, baby, and Matterspark seems pretty cool. Our developers also got to share more information about the new gear tiering system, where weapons and armor can gain bonuses the higher the tier, seasonal gear and artifact, and how they will interact with each other, plus Armor 3.0. I don't know, that feels like a weird sentence to say out loud. All right, so a little bit of lore, and I was actually pretty shocked when I read this the first time. Department of External Observations, Incident Archive, item number 0881957. Classification, anomalous object, filed by audit agent Perry. Description, a leather-bound binder locked by a numeric code, redacted black, filled with documentation regarding redacted space and redacted. The binder is scarred with an unknown residue like rubberized mold. An addition has been made to the pages within, redacted. Otherwise, the binder itself appears to retain its original properties and pages. Contains classified information. Information has been stricken from this audit. Agents may request access directly from Dr. Mofat. Report, a DEO binder disappeared from a DEO test site on 3 redacted, 19 redacted. An anomalous object was found in the back lot outside DEO site number 7 on the ground. It has been confirmed on 3 separate occasions that this object is in fact the very same redacted binder that the Internal Institute initiated an audit to recover. There is no missing information, but the DEO cannot assume the information within has not been copied, and the addition to the binder's contents brings up questions of its origin. The II will transfer investigation of this matter to a more appropriate internal department equipped to analyze temporal redacted. So we're getting some lore that's probably in the Year of Prophecy Collector's Edition, which I will be purchasing. I need all the stuff. I need it. I need it. So moving on, we got new armor for a new beginning. Armor 1.0 laid out the groundwork. Armor 2.0 built upon it with more perks and flair, and Armor 3.0 adds a whole new layer that will allow more build crafting opportunities than ever before. Here to talk about that is our Destiny 2 armor team. It's been a while since our core armor systems received a refresh, hasn't it? Armor 2.0 has been with us since the release of Shadowkeep and has been iterated upon with each release since. From the introduction of stasis, aspects, and fragments to the release of the prismatic subclass, it has held strong as the world changed around it. It's about time we gave it a well-earned refresh. With the release of the Edge of Fate, any new armor released will use the Armor 3.0 system. Don't worry, armor rolls you already have won't change. They will just have their stats moved over 1-to-1 as described a couple of weeks ago. While the system we featured in the developer insight video linked above, here's a quick overview of how things will work. Set bonuses. Think of set bonuses like origin traits for armor, a reflection of that armor's theme that you can fold into the way your build plays. Set bonuses are perks granted when you equip 2 or 4 pieces of armor from that same set. This allows you to either blend 2 separate sets or to commit to 2 bonuses from the same set. Each set bonus has been built with both approaches in mind, and we're looking forward to seeing what you creative guardians manage to put together with these new tools. The benefits that set bonuses can provide cover a pretty wide range of options, from brand new effects to more familiar tools in a new package. We've included a pair of examples below, and we've got a few more in store at launch. So if you prefer something better suited for staying in the fight or for crucible dueling, there will be plenty of new toys to pick from. Ion Renewal, Force Converter, a final blow with missiles, rocket launchers, and grenade launchers. Sprint for a short time to grant speed booster. And then I guess reactive booster is once per activation of anomalous servos. Sprinting while critically held, being suspended, or being slowed by a stasis effect will immediate grant speed boost for a short duration. Okay, so it's basically just like, you know, you get a couple of extra bonuses from your armor. And then this is a new one. So Wrecker, you deal significantly increased kinetic damage to overshields, combatant shields, and constructs. Concussive rounds, defeating powerful combatants or breaking a combatant shield with kinetic damage releases a disorienting kinetic shockwave. Oh, okay. I definitely like that. That's definitely one that I'm gonna test. TechSec, I think is what that says. Yeah, that should be good. I'm hoping it's good. I'm gonna definitely be running that one. Armor archetypes. One of the major focuses for us when redesigning how armor works in the Edge of Fate was clarity. Not only do these changes help newer Guardians acclimate to more complex build crafting, but they also help experienced players quickly evaluate individual armor drops and decide what is the best fit for their build. Armor archetypes are a key part of that effort. Each Armor 3.0 drop has a randomly selected armor archetype. Each of the 6 available archetypes are themed around specific playstyle and determine the 2 highest stats on each piece of armor. Each piece of armor will also roll with a tertiary or lowest stat randomly selected from the remaining 4 stats. The primary highest and secondary second highest stats determined by your archetype make armor reliably spiky. We've also updated the armor ghost mods to increase the odds of a specific archetype dropping, to make seeking out the best armor for you easier. Overall, we found this system to make it much easier to earn armor when its stats are landing where you need them to be, rather than in stats you don't want for your build. So the stat like kind of groupings are Paragon, super primary, melee secondary, Grenadier is grenade primary, super secondary, Specialist is class primary, weapon secondary, Brawler is melee primary, health secondary, Bulwark is health primary, class secondary, and I think I like that Bulwark build. Gunner is weapons primary, grenade secondary. Okay. So I like that they're like kind of like grouping them together and the archetypes kind of like determined, but there's only one weapons primary archetype here. Is weapons primary? Yeah, there's only one, and there's only one with a weapon secondary as well. Okay, so they don't want us to just build straight into making our guns do like an insane amount of damage. They actually want it to be somewhat, you know, manageable and balanced. Masterworking. With all the new and shiny armor set bonuses to try out, we wanted to make sure that it was easy to try out a new piece of armor, so we've updated the masterworking system for any Armor 3.0 drops. All Armor 3.0 drops will have their maximum armor energy available regardless of masterwork level. Masterworking armor no longer increases all stats. The amount granted by the primary, secondary, and tertiary stats rolled will not change, with the exception of armor mods. Okay, so the only thing that will change what the set bonuses are is the armor mods, which is pretty good. Masterworking now increases your lowest 3 stats on any piece of armor by 1 with each level. This has a maximum of +5 in each, or +15 stats total. Okay, so if you masterwork an armor, you can only get to either +5 in each stat, depending on the level of masterwork, or all 15, or a maximum of +15 stats if you go, you know, maxed out on that specific piece of armor. Next up, we've got gear tiers. A piece of gear's tier represents its quality and strength compared to other legendary drops. For example, higher tier weapons can drop with enhanced perks, special weapon mods, and at tier 5, unique visual effects. For armor, this primarily influences the total stats of each piece of gear. However, tier 4 and 5 have a couple of extra bonuses. An extra mod energy going to 11 at tier 4, and a randomly selected tune stat at tier 5. Tier 5 armor will also always drop with a perfect stat roll of 30 in its primary stat, 25 in its secondary stat, and 20 in its tertiary stat. Okay, so if you get a tier 5, it will always drop So if you're going for, let's say, a grenadier, you will always get 30 grenade. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. That's actually pretty nice. So tier 1 is going to be from 52 to 57, and then if it's masterwork, 67 to 72. Tier 2 will be 58 to 63, and then if it's masterwork, 73 to 78. If it's a tier 3, 64 to 69, 79 to 84 when it's masterwork. Tier 4 will be 70 to 75, 85 to 90 when it's masterwork, and then a tier 5 will be 75 and 90 if it's masterwork. And then you also get an extra mod energy at tier 4, extra mod energy, and your random tune stat on tier 5. So armor with a tune stat will have access to a tuning mod slot, allowing you to choose between moving 5 stats from any other stat to your tune stat or balance tuning, which increases the armor's 3 lowest stats by 1. With all these changes, you might think that your current armor just won't cut it anymore, but that is not the case. Legacy gear will still be useful and a great on-ramp into the new system. We'll have more information on how to earn higher gear tiers, specific on weapon tiers, and more in an upcoming article. So more TWABs, more TWABs, more TWABs. New gear. We also took a look at seasonal gear and refactored it into new gear to provide focusing for build crafting throughout the game's various activities. New gear can offer more lethality and PvE content, drop with seasonal bonus power, and receive bonuses from the current seasonal artifact. It is easily identifiable with a unique colored border and icon background so that you always are able to find it. Specific weapons will also be considered new gear, okay? And then there will be an exclusive PvP playlist where players must use new gear to face off against each other, with the intention being to create a more even playing field for newer players and to test out builds for those who want to experiment. New gear will include a 10% bonus for weapons damage and a 15% bonus for damage resistance. These bonuses will not apply to PvP or the contest mode of the upcoming raid. We'll have additional information at a later date on how this system works, what gear qualifies, and more. Exotic armor. Long term, we hope to eventually add support for exotics to access the benefits of higher tiers using the dedicated system that reflects their nature as a unique centerpiece in your builds. Although this system won't be ready for the Year of Prophecy, we wanted to make sure that exotic armor could benefit from armor archetypes and the reworked masterwork system. While your existing roles will be converted 1-to-1 to the new stats, new drops of exotic armor will be upgraded to armor 3.0. This means they will have their stats determined by archetypes, receive the new masterworking system, and will drop with full mod energy by default. While these drops will not have a specific gear tier, their stats will roll as if they were a tier 2, 58 to 63 total stats. Once masterworked, this should be comparable to all but the very best armor 2.0 rolls. Okay, so basically if you get a new drop, it's going to drop with the new stats, like a 1-to-1 pullover, but you'll really only be maxing these out at tier 2 is what it sounds like to me. I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens once the Edge of Fate drops. To make this transition a little easier, 801 will be offering 20 free focused exotic armors per account to anyone who has tower access prior to the release of Edge of Fate. This specific focusing will be available throughout the Year of Prophecy and will allow you to focus any non-class item exotic from the final shape or before with an archetype of your choice, as long as you have unlocked it in collection. So as long as you have the exotic unlocked, you literally get to choose what archetype you want it to be, which is pretty nice. As for exotic class items, they are the only armor from before the Edge of Fate that will be converted fully into the new system. Each one will receive the maximum stats available for an exotic, 30 in the primary, 20 in the secondary, and 13 in the tertiary. To prevent this from massively increasing the number of possible class item rolls, these stats will be assigned based on their rolled perks, archetype being determined by the left column perk and the tertiary stat being determined by the right column perk. However, this does not mean that they can no longer be upgraded to artifice armor. This does mean that, so you won't be able to, okay. And they will lose any existing artifice mod slot. Damn, they're taking our artifice away on our exotic class item? That's so unfortunate. I mean, I get it because they're just giving us the stat in the tertiary, but like at the same time, I have so many artifice armor exotic class items, so we'll have to see how that works. Let's talk about gear swapping. We want to highlight one specific change we're making to a specific warlock exotic chest armor come July 15 that we missed in last week's TWID. For those who aren't too deep in the build crafting, many Guardians have been leveraging an interesting strategy mid-combat for boss DPS with exotics like Sanguine Alchemy, where they swap gear to take advantage of the alternate exotic bonuses that better fit in the current point in the encounter's flow. This is to maximize their efficiency and output, resulting in pumping out some incredible boss bakes, especially in ultimatum dungeons. While we fully applaud those throughout the community who want to push the needle as far as it can go, we found that this is presenting balance issues where it feels mandatory, and we don't feel the main draw of the exotics should be centered around swap-centric strategies. So Sanguine Alchemy is getting a nerf. Swapping to this exotic in combat will now apply a 10-second cooldown before its perk can be activated. Much like the changes to melee stacking in last week's TWID, we want to be able to make exotics that meaningfully change your gameplay, and at current, these types of behaviors are constricting how much we can push that bar. The above change is a minor first step in targeting one exotic during our launch window, but we'll be taking a larger approach later this year. When the holistic fix is implemented, we will re-examine this change and see if it is still necessary. All right. Sanguine Alchemy people get a big old nerf ski. Featured exotics. All right, starting with the Edge of Fate, certain exotic armor and weapons will be specifically featured, gaining the same benefits as new gear, and will change with each expansion and major update. At the Edge of Fate's launch, 28 exotic weapons and 15 exotic armors from each class will be featured, including all new Edge of Fate exotic weapons and armor. But don't worry, even if your favorite isn't on the list, you'll still be able to use it almost everywhere you go. So starting with Warlock, Felwinter's Helm, Fallen Sunstar, Nothing Manacles, Balador's Wrathweavers, Starfire Protocol, Wings of Sacred Dawn, Mantle of Battle Harmony, Matadoxia, Rhymecoat Riment, Geomag Stabilizers, Prometheum Spur, Boots of the Assembler, Second Filaments, Swarmers, and Eunoia. For Hunters, the Dragon Shadow, Mask of Bacchus, Blight Ranger, Syracnes, I can never say that, Syracnes Facade, Mask of Fealty, Kepri Sting, Oathkeeper, Arthur's Embrace, Athris's Embrace, something like that, Renewal Grasp, Caliban's Hand, Gifted Conviction, Lucky Pants, Star Eater Scales, Speedloader Slacks, and Morai. Titans are gonna have Precious Scars, Wormguard Caress, Ursa Furiosa, Icefall Mantle, Point Contact Cannon Brace, Pyrogil Gauntlets, Wishful Ignorance, Crest of Alpha Lupi, Actium Warrig, the MK44 Stand-Sides, the Peregrine Greaves, Phoenix Cradle, the Path of Burning Steps, Abeyant Leap, and Melas Panoplia. Jesus, Bungie. These names, all you gotta do is call them boots. Come on now. Now, for weapons, we've got Dead Man's Tail, Wicked Implement, Outbreak Perfected, Outbreak, yo, Outbreak Perfected, Barrow Dyad, Lumina, Wishkeeper, New Land Beyond, Agar Scepter, the Navigator, Arbalist, Centrifuge, Tommy's Matchbook, Choir of One, Polaris Lance, which is going to be bananas this next season, Graviton Lance, Ariana's Vow, which is also going to be really good, Devil's Ruin, Hierarchy of Needs, Slayer's Fang, Lodestar, Legend of Acrius, Microcosm, Winterbite, Worldline Zero, which, okay, Finality's Augur, Third Iteration, Graviton Spike, and Redacted. That is a lot of gear that's going to be featured and be able to take advantage of that. I'm excited for Mask of Fealty, Mask of Bacchus, and Gifted Conviction to be, you know, something that we'll be able to use next season. And then Outbreak Perfected is going to be featured, so get your gear right, get your gear right. Balancing the scale of abilities. Stats and abilities go hand in hand, so it's only fitting that we share the remaining upcoming ability changes coming in the Edge of Fate. If you recall, we spoke about melee tuning and other various ability changes in last week's TWID, so check out that info. We spoke about Prismatic's changes a few weeks ago, but to summarize, it's been a bit too hot since release and has made some challenges trivial. We're reining it in to be more in line with other subclasses. So the changes coming to Warlock are for Prismatic, reduce the number of fragment slots provided by the following aspects: Hellion from 3 to 2, Bleak Watcher from 3 to 2, Dev Note. These abilities per minute of the Prismatic subclass are very high, so we're pulling a small amount of efficiency out of their engines to achieve a healthier balance of gunplay and ability usage. Looking forward, we'll be working on making sure the Prismatic subclasses feel like they have a variety of great builds. Prismatic Strand, Weaver's Call aspect, can now generate threadlings on any final blow instead of just strand. Ooh. Dev Note, this change will allow for easier threadling generation regardless of your build. That's actually pretty sick. Void, Pocket Singularity, the melee. Increase Pocket Singularity damage versus non-boss combatants by 20%, increase Pocket Singularity damage versus boss combatants by 56%, so that's a pretty significant buff. Dev Note, Pocket Singularity was feeling weak compared to other melees, especially given its relatively short range. I'm going to read this TWID in record time. Titan, Prismatic, reduce number of fragment slots provided by the following aspect: Consecration from 3 to 2, because Consecration is busted. Solar Consecration aspect. Increased fragment slots from 2 to 3. Dev note, we're giving Consecration an additional fragment slot in the solar subclass to put it above its prismatic counterpart. The pure concentrated solar subclass should have an edge here. That's a valid point. Prismatic Strand, Dranger's Lash aspect. Increased tracking strength of base suspend wave and abeyant leap exotic armor suspend wave. Okay. Increased base suspend wave travel distance from 20 to 30 meters. Pretty big buff. Increased abeyant leap suspend wave travel distance from 30 to 35 meters. Pretty good buff there. Dev note, we've seen community feedback that this ability could use some help, so we've made it more forgiving. Prismatic Solar Consecration aspect. Ignition no longer has plus 20%. Damn. Okay. Pretty big nerf to Consecration here. And we knew it was coming. It's just like, damn, they're nerfing it into the ground. We made this change to match the other ignition damage scaling changes we mentioned in last week's TWID, making ignition damage consistent across the board. Okay, so basically they're just nerfing everything so that everything feels strong on the edge of fate, and then they're gonna add to that. It's what it sounds like. Void shield throw melee, increased projectile tracking strength by 77%. Finally, I will use it if it's better. Dev note, this melee can be hard to land in the heat of the moment, so we've made it track enemies more aggressively. Thank you. And then Arc, Storm's Keep aspect. Benefits no longer stack when standing behind multiple barricades. Dev note, Storm's Keep stacking resulted in faster than intended bolt charge accrual. So we've limited the number of Storm's Keep barricades a Guardian can benefit from to 1. So they basically made it so you only benefit from one barricade there. Hunter changes. This is where I get excited. General, Gambler's Dodge. Melee return no longer requires dodging near enemy. Dev note, with the armor set changes coming in the Edge of Fate, source of ability energy will now scale based on your ability stats. This includes Gambler's Dodge because the ability now requires some stat investment to get a full charge back, where removing this requirement that you dodge near an enemy for this to perk to work. This will make the dodge feel more consistent, returning energy on every dodge instead of only when there are enemies in an invisible circle around the hunter. Prismatic, reduce the number of fragment slots provided by the following aspects: Ascension from 3 to 2 and Winter Shroud from 3 to 2. Winter Shroud is good, and they are nerfing it, and I'm sad. Prismatic Solar, Gunpowder Gamble aspect, reduce self damage from Gunpowder Gamble detonation by 60%. Final blows of all kinds now grant Gunpowder Gamble progress instead of just solar kills, which is sick. Blowing yourself up with Gunpowder Gamble is frustrating, so we're significantly reducing the self damage it does if you're too close to the destination, and we're making it easier to build stacks. Sweet. Solar, On Your Mark aspect. Final blows while at 3 stacks of On Your Mark now make you radiant for a short time. Activating your class ability now gives you 1 stack of On Your Mark instead of 3 stacks. Okay, so kind of a buff, kind of a nerf. Dev note, we think Gunslinger needs more access to radiant, so we're essentially allowing them to reach a 4th stack of On Your Mark in the form of radiant. Okay, beyond this, we'll be focusing on further improving Gunslinger's kit in an upcoming release. And last, we have Arc, Ascension aspect. Ascension can now activate the following perks: Armor, Reaper, Powerful Attraction, Outreach, Distribution Bomber, Diamond. Oh God, that's a big buff for Ascension. I really enjoy my Arc build that I've been using recently, and this is a big bump. Like, Reaper is gonna be great, and Powerful Attraction is also gonna be great. Exotics, Foil, class item, and Gerfalcon's Reserve Overshield. Okay. That's actually pretty sick. All classes in general. Increased damage versus bosses, mini bosses, and champions by 15% for these grenades: Arc, Flux Grenade, Arc Bolt, Flashbang, Storm Grenade, and for Void, Axiom Bolt, Suppressor Grenades, Solar for Firebolt and Trip Mine Grenades, Kinetic, the Rock Grenade for Forerunner. Okay. All damage types. Ability energy returns from perks and passive regen now scales based on the requisite stat. Dev note, we covered this, they went over that last week in the TWID. Void, Devour, reduce Devour's health heal amount from 200 to 100. It's a good thing I don't play Warlock very often. It is a very good thing that I don't play Warlock. Dev note, Devour has been far and away the most efficient form of healing available, and a full heal on every proc feels excessive. This change will better balance Devour against other healing sources and give more value back to back-to-back procs. Okay. Strand Suspend, increase the base suspend duration from 5 to 7 seconds. Dev note, to better balance suspend against other crowd control options, we've increased the duration by a second, giving players more time to burn down enemies or prioritize other targets. And then Stasis Shatter. Stasis Shatter damage now stuns overload champions instead of unstoppable. Ooh, why did they? Okay, wait. Dev note, moving forward, we want to make it clearer how and when weapons can gain anti-champion capabilities from sources like the artifact or radiant. Because stacking Stasis stasis slow organically leads to stasis shatter, it is limited to how often we can give slow to certain weapons without an auto-solving champion encounters. Overload champions are also harder to deal with than unstoppable champions in general, so more ways to bring them down. Overload champions feels valuable. Yeah, unstoppable champions can still be stunned by 3 other elemental verbs: blind, ignition, and suspend. Sweet. All right, so some weirdo changes, if I'm being honest, some weirdo changes, Bungie, but it is what it is. Flux grenade significantly reduced base cooldown time, which is good. Increased projectile size to make it a bit easier to stick targets. Dev note, we still want flux grenade to be a high damage skill shot, but the long cooldown and high accuracy required were too punishing. All right, so got a lot of changes coming to a lot of different things that made things feel a bit busted. And I get it, you know, during the final shape, make as much things busted as you can so that when you go in to edit them, they feel a little bit more in line with everything else. Bungie, you're cooking right now. New rewards pass incoming. It's a new era of Destiny 2. And with that comes exciting updates to our seasonal pass model. Much like ye olden times, there will be 4 reward passes available during the year of prophecy. And just like before, the cost for these reward passes is being reduced to 1,000 silver. Big ups, Bungie, big ups. But what we're really excited to announce is that every rank will be available to earn day 1. No more having to wait for a new act to launch to unlock more ranks. We've adjusted them to feel more rewarding too. For one, we've refactored some boosts and added new ones, removing some that were determined to be less desirable. The new boosts offer comprehensive bonuses that apply to a wide range of content, as opposed to narrowly boosting specific season content. Activity score boost now provides a 15% score bonus on all portal activities when fully unlocked. Prime engram boost increases the possibility of desirable armor and weapon drops from portal activities. Weekly challenge boost allows players to complete their various weekly seasonal hub challenges faster, streamlining their access to additional high value rewards. And the XP boost has been factored to apply a 40% bonus to XP earnings when they fully unlocked, along with a 20% bonus to fireteam members' XP. Additionally, the total number of XP boost items has been reduced to make space for additional rewards. Okay, that's solid. Okay. Secondly, premium track armor rewards have also been reworked so that players will acquire a full set of both PvE and PvP armor, and the free track will offer 5 pieces split between the 2 sets, allowing players to unlock a partial set bonus for each. Nice. Thirdly, we took a pass at our reward allocation to ensure that we are providing as much value as possible for all players. The allocation of various free rewards has been increased, and players will be able to acquire more cosmetic rewards within the first 100 ranks of the pass compared to prior season passes. With a return to 4 season passes per year, we've reduced the pass ranks down to 110. Why the extra 10, you may ask? Well, they're extra special. While we set out to reduce the overall grind and remove the time gating introduced during episodes, we still want to preserve some aspects of the aspirational progression and chase rewards that our larger season passes provide. These additional 10 ranks are packed with valuable rewards for both free and premium players, require 500,000 XP each to earn, and can only be acquired through gameplay, which is nice. I'm glad it's not pay to win there. Yeah, it's sort of pay to win, but you know, while we have ensured that the first 100 ranks provide more value than ever before, we hope that you also enjoy having additional rewards to chase after achieving rank 100. It's like pay to win light. It's like you can get everything that you need through the free pass, but the free pass is more cosmetic. And from what this looks like, you're getting exotic engrams left and freaking right, which, I mean, if they're making all those changes to our exotics, then yeah, please. Thanks, Bungie. Bungie Day is almost here. Now, we didn't name this day ourselves, our community did, and we'll have more to share about Day of 7 soon. As a part of our annual celebration of you, the Bungie Foundation's team is back to host another iteration of Celebrity Chaos as a part of their continuing mission to help reduce distress and suffering in children through entertainment and partner with humanitarian and aid and organizations in times of natural disaster and crisis. The team is here to talk about the 7th column chaos. Hey there, Guardians. Bungie Day is right around the corner, and we can't wait to once again celebrate chaos, competition, and compassion of our Lightkeeper community. Bungie Day officially kicks off on July 7th and will run through July 29th, and with returns to the 2nd edition of our 7th column chaos PvP tournament, 16 teams made up of Bungie Foundation supporters will sweat it out in the crucible, battling through chaos modifiers to earn bragging rights and bring glory to their NBC mascots. Will the sweeper bot led Dust Bunnies and the team captain Clean Plays be champ this year, or maybe returning winner D Fizzle and Colonel's Revenge will push the title again? Let's rock in and have some good fun for a cause. Matches begin on 7/7, so stay tuned to the Bungie Foundation social channels for match times. And then they've got the teams and the members on each team here. So of course, with the new campaign comes a fresh wave of rewards to power the work we do together, improving children's health and well-being through our Little Lights program, developing rapid humanitarian relief, and building inclusive, welcoming communities for all. We're bringing back 7 fan favorite emblems plus an awesome slate of brand new items so you can rep the Bungie Foundation and push our Valdo work even farther. We'll have more details to share soon. Lastly, we've got the Steam Summer Sale. Now is a great time to catch up on past content you may have missed. As a part of Steam's Summer Sale, our Destiny 2 expansion bundles and packs have been discounted at 92% off starting June 26th and ending July 14th. So if you need any of these expansions, get them now. This will be your last chance to buy the Final Shape Plus Annual Pass or the Light Darkness Collection before they are delisted so they're going away. You literally won't even be able to buy them anymore. Destiny 2, the Light and Darkness Collection at 85% off. Destiny 2 Legacy Collection 2024 at 90% off. Destiny 2, the Final Shape Annual Pass at 80% off. Destiny 2, the Final Shape Plus Annual Pass Upgrade does not include campaign at 80% off. So if you need the Annual Pass Upgrade, it's 80% off. Destiny 2, the Final Shape at 75% off. And 92% off Lightfall, the Witch Queen Beyond Light Pack, Shadowkey Pack, and Forsaken Pack. So, okay. All right. That is an absolute gargantuan amount of information in this TWID this week. All right. So we got a little bit of a sneak peek at some of the armor changes and ability changes that they're making in the Edge of Fate. We have some of the featured gear on offer here that's going to be absolutely amazing for the, damage reduction and the damage output sections of the seasonal pass, or the artifact mode rather. And a lot of information, how the set bonuses work. We've got new armor coming. We've got the new armor archetypes info. This is a pretty stacked TWID, so let me know what you guys think about some of these changes down in the comments below. If you guys have any questions, or if you definitely want to start a conversation down there, please leave a comment, leave a like on the video, and if you guys want more TWID videos from me, Trey, I will be more than happy to do them. This is definitely an insightful TWID for sure. But if you haven't already, go check out some of my weapon reviews, go check out some of my most recent videos, and we will have a video coming up on why double primary is a viable option in PvP. Don't at me, don't even talk to me about it. It's viable. So with all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.